outside of Craven Cottage. Didn't manage to stay inside, as we never do really. We never tend to stay in these stadiums. I think even when we in January we got kicked out that time as well. You know how it works. But anyway, yeah, 1-0 win at Fulham. Bruno Guimaraes, 81st minute winner. Liam, come to you straight away. Thoughts? I'll briefly sort of summarise the game. I thought Newcastle were really poor in the first half, gradually improved in the second half, and I wouldn't say it was a deserved victory, but we'll certainly take it.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. Quickly will apologise. You know what it's like. We've got the planes flying over as you always do at Fulham, and there's just people spilling out everywhere. If anybody drunk and jumps in, it can't be as bad as PSG and Chelsea.
Yeah, no, that was the worst one, Chelsea.
It might be a do it, cut, move on, because people do get fascinated when they see dafties like us stand talking to cameras. Right, yeah, what are my thoughts on that one? I think that first half an hour was as bad, to start on the negative, it was as bad a first half hour
really
as I've seen in a long time. Newcastle looked sleepy, they looked well off it. But I thought as this sparked them against West Ham, the substitutions again helped Newcastle United. It was the key moment in the second half for me, was the change from Jacob Murphy to Harvey Barnes. Harvey Barnes wasn't at his absolute prime best today. And you can still see that he's trying to get to his levels of fitness and ability, but it just gave Fulham so much more to think about. Newcastle United was suddenly on the front foot, pushed Fulham back 10 yards. Harvey Barnes was a threat on the left, and they had to worry about Anthony Gordon going out to the right. Isak again didn't have his greatest day, but it was just, there was a Fulham fan behind us who said, how scary is that front three? And they were sort of like, when they started running at you, it was scary. But for me, the biggest mention of the whole day goes to the goal scorer. I thought he was absolutely outstanding. With and without the ball. Apologies if he can't. There's a lot of...
What was this?
They're an active bunch round here, like.
They were keen to kick out, I've got to say. It weren't in there that long, by the way.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, this isn't really long after the game, being brutally honest. Hence why it's quite busy in and around Craven Cottage. Bruno Guimaraes. Wow, man. Cherish him with every bit that you can. I absolutely love him. I just see Joe Buck getting it. Joe Buck getting all kinds of...
Where next, by the way?
Yes, there's going to be a Daphne comes into the interview at some point. So I'll get me Bruno Guimaraes comments out, because we may have to cut and alter and change.
We'll just leave it in, man. One cut takes us.
Bruno Guimaraes, with and without the ball today. Quiet in the first half, but nobody was really involved for that first half an hour. Newcastle were passengers, very passive. After that, he slows the game down, he speeds it up. He's an attacking threat with a fantastic finish. He's got a barrage of set pieces coming Newcastle United's way. He's the man heading the ball at the front post and clearing things out and winning tackles and making sure that he clears the ball. This guy's clocked with. He's clocked with. Do you think he'll come in?
Yeah. See ya.
Here he goes. He may not come in.
He's threatening.
He's got a very silly hat on and a very silly pair of glasses. We'll see if he comes in. You refrained.
You could tell when it was them.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been as fun if I didn't notice it.
Yeah, I think we spotted him. I think
We'll cut there because of technical difficulties. It wasn't because of the guy
who's still there.
Yeah, he's still there. He hasn't given the video, but he's still there.
Right. Yeah, I was just watching Lyrical Jordan, Bruno Guimaraes for me. It's just, what a guy, what a player. Cherish him with everything you've got. He showed the badge.
I love it, yeah.
The orchestrating of Newcastle United's fans at the end for the songs and all that. He wants to stay at Newcastle United, and he doesn't want to leave. Alexander Isak doesn't want to leave. Let's not beat around the bush here, but it's about big fish. Newcastle United have always been, they're big enough fish. They're big enough fish in English football that they can resist certain attempts from certain football clubs to sign their footballers. But whether it was Liverpool in the 70s, 80s, whether it's Manchester United in the 90s, whether it was Real Madrid coming in for certain players from Newcastle United in the 2000s, they're only so big. They can only resist to a certain level. What's really changed? If Real Madrid want to sign any of Newcastle United's best players, or Man City, who have put themselves at the top of the tree in English football over the last 20 years, want to sign one of Newcastle United players, there's probably not really much you can do about it.
No.
It's hard to resist Liverpool because of the historic nature of Liverpool. Manchester United is a funny one, but it may turn that way again, and it becomes hard to resist. certain football clubs are impossible to turn down, and that doesn't mean football players want to leave. I think they're happy, and I think there's only a certain level of club can afford them, and only a certain amount of those clubs will want them and need them. So it probably makes the balance of probability both will be here. But please, I hope they are, because Newcastle need more Bruno Guimaraes, they need more Anthony Gordon, they need more Tino Livramento, they need more Alexander Isak. We don't want less. Yes, maybe losing one might mean you can bring in more. I just think there's got to be another way. And looking at him out there today, he loves playing for the jersey, for the shirt, for the fans. Every ounce. It wouldn't surprise me if when the stats come out, he's ran the most yards of anybody on that football pitch. Yeah. Fantastic. A leader, real leader of men, with and without the ball, on and off the field. Another leader, who I'll let you talk about, was the main man at the back. The skipper himself.
Excellent again.
A big man in his natural habitat. Take him from left back, put him centre half, and who knew? The bloke looks like a proper defender.
No, I know. But you think about Fabian Schär, Dan Burns' defensive record together. It must be quite good, because
it was the back end of that season.
I know, that's what I mean. When the season stayed up, it was Dan Burn and Fabian Schär as a partnership then, and from memory, I think they're defensively quite solid that time as well. So they've developed a real partnership. But yeah, on Dan Burn, absolutely brilliant. Captain's armband, plays like it. He plays like a leader. I think the captain's armband, although he's moved back in the centre defence, probably giving him extra edge as well. I think Geordie boy, boyhood Newcastle United fan, him being captain will make him very, very proud, and it probably makes him feel 10 foot tall. He quite literally is 10 foot tall, by the way. But the last two games, he has been, bar Bruno today, I think he's been Newcastle's standout man. Solid. I think for the goal that was disallowed, I thought it was a bit harsh on Dan Burn. I know you disagree.
I slightly differ. I was disappointed, don't get us wrong, and I'm not going to say it wasn't soft, because it was in some respects soft. But I think it's the arm. I think when you slowed it down, which is what they do, the referee. When the referee's then presented with that footage of the slowed down arm push, and it doesn't really look like he's attempting much to head the ball, I think it's one of the easiest decisions a referee will make. I didn't think it was hard for him to rule it out. But in full time and full speed, which is how they should be viewed most of the time, unless it's so minute that you have to slow it down. That should have been viewed in full time, slow it down, full time, give him a chance to see every aspect. And he probably comes to the same decision he did before, that it's a coming together of two footballers who both trying to win the ball, both challenging, both big, both physical. But when you slow it right down, it looks like Burn goes like that, shoves him right in the back and pushes him forward. So I can see why he ruled it out.
It's one of my biggest frustrations with VAR, because as soon as the referee was going to monitor, you knew for a fact that goal was going to be disallowed. I think there's been, I'd probably count on one hand how many times the referee's got the monitor and stuck with his on-field decision. But anyway, I'm complaining about the goal that didn't actually matter in the end.
No, because they just righted the wrong. Whether it was a wrong, they righted it within 5 minutes.
Yeah, and it was Bruno, which it was a custom Harvey Barnes, which you mentioned his impact earlier.
Emirates flight comes across, I think it was.
It's always loud out. Yeah, I'm trying to think where to pick the game up. I mean, in many ways, we're being critical of the way Newcastle performed this season, but I think it was just really important they got 3 points today, and that's the biggest credit I can give them. There's been times when they haven't found ways to win this season, they managed to do that today. Just a shame West Ham managed to get a result at Wolves. You could have put them 7th for that game in hand. I think the game in hand to Manchester United, which isn't always a given, can be, but not at the moment. I think they're very inconsistent, so I think it was just really important that they got those 3 points, and they're dead on the knees again. They're down to the bare bones. Joe Willock came off injured.
What did Eddie Howe say about that?
He said he was feeling his Achilles. He's been feeling it for some time. Isn't in a total amount of pain, but was enough for him to come off. So
he hasn't looked right.
He hasn't.
Let's be brutally honest about this. He didn't look right the other day. He hasn't looked right again. I've been saying he's looked off colour in terms of his performances. I think
what do you do
it's
now?
Clearly bothering him, isn't it?
Do you manage at the end of the season and have a 50%, maybe not even 50% Joe Willock, and you have him as an option, or do you let the lad recover? I don't know what they might require. I mean, most things are fixed by surgery. I don't know if that may be a possibility for Joe Willock, but I think if it was me, I think I'd probably call his season, to be honest, if that's what it needs. He's clearly hasn't recovered. He needs more time to rest. I know Newcastle are competing for Europe. They need bodies, But it's just not fair on the player in many ways because he isn't performing. And I said that in the first half there, I thought he looked like he was carrying something. Even when he came on against Everton in midweek, he didn't look right. He was brought on to bring a bit of control in that midfield or something different in that midfield. Didn't manage to do it. I just think he's an option, but he isn't fully fit, and is it worth persisting with him? I don't think so. Players clearly struggling, so for me I think Newcastle's injury list now went from 11 to 12 today. It may stay like that for at least the end of the month, because I think Newcastle's injury list at the moment, they're not expecting players back until the final 3 or 4 games of the season, so they're going to have to get through with what they've got, and that's why I'm really pleased with what I've seen today, because I've seen a fighting spirit and a determination. Because I dug deep, I thought, I think Eddie Howe said in there that he didn't think it was a very good defensive performance. I would agree with that in the first half, but I thought second half towards the end when Fulham were pushing, I do thought it was, I did think it was backs against the wall type of stuff, and I've got to credit them for seeing out a clean sheet, because they don't come by often, clean sheets on the road. Just start doing the rounds there. This is Newcastle's first Premier League clean sheet away from home since that 8-0 win over Sheffield United. So you hope these things are building blocks.
In the Premier League, yeah.
You hope these things are building blocks, but the caveat of that is the injuries they're going to impact them massively. I think for Newcastle to go and finish in the European places now, I think it'll be a hell of an achievement if they manage to do that. Consistency is key. They've come out today, got a win. They need to keep doing that towards now the end of the season. But as I say, the injuries are really impacting them, because you mentioned the subs today, Liam. They made a difference, and the subs off the bench, the options off the bench are dwindling by the week. And Newcastle need the subs to almost win games. If you haven't got them options, I think there'll be a bit of a struggle. Real positive the day out the vote.
There's a positive, and I think what I would say is, you've always talked about it in our videos on here and talked about consistency and a lack of consistency. What Newcastle United have now shown in the 3 games since the international break is that they can show a level of consistency. Yes, the consistency of performance hasn't been there, but when you get to in the last 10 games, they're winning the home straight where winners become winners. Do you really need to be putting in performances? It's about results, and they've went and got 7 out of 9, and 7 out of 9 in the 3 games is what you would hope to think. I think most people would have said if you can get 7 out of 9,
it's probably if
you've
you're
done the business.
It's probably if you're flipping, you beat Everton at home and come here and get a draw today.
Yeah.
Staff announcement, just for information, all car parks will be closing at 1900 hours. If your cars are still parked in the car parks, please make arrangements to leave them as soon as possible. Thank you.
The staff have got 2 minutes to get
Better
the
hurry up.
cars,
They booted us out, so you can see why they wanted everybody out. We're not going too much longer, but I think consistency for me is massive, and they are starting to show that. It's going to be tough, but if they can go and get 7 out the next 9, I think they'd be massive favourites to finish in one of those European spots, which we expect it'll probably go to 8th. We don't know for definite. We expect it almost certainly will.
We need Dom for the
7.
European permutations, don't we? For if the European places go down 8th, I think you've got to understand, and I'll tell the viewers out there, I haven't got a clue.
My head was blown when Dom explained to me there could be 6 teams in the Champions League. When I've had in my head, it's only going to be 5. But there is a permutation where West Ham finish outside of Europe. No, West Ham just win. All they have to do, I think, is finish outside the Champions League and win the Europa League, and they would get an extra spot. England would have then 6 places if they finish in the top 2 in the coefficient. If that hasn't blown your mind, it definitely did mine this week. That doesn't mean you get an extra place in the Europa League, though.
No.
However, right, we are missing a man, Dominic Skirt. Do you want to cut? He sent a little video.
Yeah, I think we should put him in. Do you want
to hear his thoughts now on what he thinks of Newcastle United's win? Live from, could be anywhere. We've not even watched this video, have we? Is it from round the pool? Is it from a bar?
I haven't seen it yet, so
it could be anywhere. We don't know what he's wearing. He might have his shades on. I can imagine he's having a great time over there. This is Dom, live from Turkey, with his match reaction.
Hello everyone from the beaches of Turkey. I've had a request from Jordan and Liam to send a video over reviewing Newcastle United's 1-0 win over Fulham, which I've been able to watch here, which is ridiculous really, considering a lot of people in Newcastle wouldn't have been able to legally watch it, but that's another rant for another time. The most important thing is Newcastle United beat Fulham 1-0 today, and had thunderstorms here earlier, believe it or not, which I thought was symbolic of Newcastle's first half performance, where, I mean, couldn't have got much worse really, despite the score remaining at 0-0. Newcastle really on the back foot from the get-go, but stayed in the game, kept the score 0-0. And second half was a lot better. I thought the introduction of Harvey Barnes did make an impact, did improve things. Elliot Anderson coming on for Joe Willock as well, another potential injury scare. I'm sure Jordan will be able to provide an update on that regarding Joe Willock, but it did help Newcastle because I thought Joe Willock was on the back foot a little bit before he came off. And then second half, Newcastle were better. Wasn't great, wasn't pretty, but they got the job done. 1-0 and another step closer to those European places, which is good to see. Like I say, I thought Newcastle kept themselves in the game. Fulham probably didn't do enough to win the game. They had a couple half chances. Martin Dubravka was sharp in goal. Never took the lead and paid the price for it. Actually, I thought Newcastle should have took the lead a few minutes beforehand. Fabian Schär turning in at the back post. Dan Burn penalised for a foul from VAR. I think that's going to VAR to overturn. Very, very harsh in my opinion, if the referee's not given that as an on-field decision. So yeah, Newcastle probably should have been 1-0 ahead by the time Bruno, on his 100th appearance for the club, eventually did put Newcastle 1-0 ahead with a decent strike into the bottom left-hand corner to give Newcastle the lead. And the probably, I mean, it wasn't a pretty game. It was a very mid-table feel clash to it, but Newcastle got the job done, got the 3 points, and all in all, you look at the last 3 games, it makes that Everton draw, the disappointment of it, feel a little bit better. It makes it a bit more positive in the fact that now 7 points from the last 9 games for Newcastle, looking a whole lot brighter now. And then Spurs next week, back at St James's Park. I'll be back there, looking forward to that. And you're going into that game thinking, well, if Newcastle can build on that, finally get those back-to-back wins, then European football is a real possibility. Because I think at half-time today, certainly after the first 20 minutes, I was like, Newcastle don't look like a team challenging for European football by any means. But hey, they got the job done. They're still in the hunt, if you like. And okay, we'll see what the injury situation holds. Thankfully, Fabian Schär was able to carry on after that initial scare. And almost, I thought he gave Newcastle the lead. But yeah, all in all, positive day. Not the best performance, job done though. And we'll look ahead to Spurs next week. So I'll see you back there, and back to Jordan and Liam at Craven Cottage.
Domske from Turkey, and he was talking in the live, if anybody was on the live in the comments, about wanting to get Galatasaray away, so I think he's quite enjoying his time out there in Turkey. Right.
We'll miss Dom, but I'm going to put out a record there, and you'll not like this. Dom's missed 2 games this season.
Yeah.
Manchester United in the Carabao Cup, 3-0 win. 1-0 win at Fulham. So
Dom on holiday equals win and clean sheet.
Yes. Which, how many clean sheets?
Stay in Turkey, Dom. We've got Tottenham next week.
Yeah.
We'll love you, but we'll love the tune a little bit more. I'm sure I'll be laughing all the way. He's all-inclusive cocktails tonight with that one. Right. We've waffled. You've probably not been able to hear for all the planes, the wind, the announcements, the cars, the random people. It is chaos, but that's why you come back. That's why you come to the Geordie Journos. Because we're not normal. We'll give you that little bit of something different. Right. You know the drill. We did a live before. Jump on. We'll maybe put Dom's little comment alone by itself as a short if it fits as well. We'll see.
Yeah, as long as it's less than 60 seconds. I hope he doesn't win too much.
We don't know how long it is.
10-minute review.
We don't know how long it is. This could extend the video by 20 minutes for all we know. Anyway, like, comment, share, subscribe, and the next time you see us, Geordie Journos, together, it'll be back to a 3. Will it? No, it won't, will it?
No, well, it might be. It might be
Not
me by
me.
myself again on the Friday.
Yeah, there we are. The next time you see a post-match, it'll be the 3 of Tottenham. But I think it might be Jordan flying solo again. Did a fantastic job on Friday at Benton.
Did you watch it?
Jordan again. Yes, I did. You were fantastic.
Thanks, mate. What did I say? Joking.
I remember it all, mate. Right. Like, comment, share, subscribe, click the bell if you like the content that we do for all your Geordie Journos content.